respected senior members, respected judge, and dear members, लखनऊ की एक प्रैक्टिशनर की ओर से आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत एंड अभिनंदन है। एंड आज का यह विशेष आयोजन जीएसटी अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल की वास्तविक कार्रवाई का अनुभव प्रदान करने के लिए आयोजित किया गया है, जिसमें हम सभी को लिटिगेशन, एडवोकेसी एंड ट्रिब्यूनल प्रोसीडिंग की व्यावहारिक जानकारी प्राप्त हो सके। यह केवल एक मॉक सेशन नहीं, बल्कि सीखने, समझने व अपने प्रोफेशनल प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स को मजबूत करने का एक महत्वपूर्ण अवसर है। हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है कि आज का यह कार्यक्रम सभी सदस्यों के लिए अत्यंत ज्ञानवर्धक व उपयोगी सिद्ध होगा। मैं आदरणीय प्रेसिडेंट CA श्रीवास्तव जी से विनम्र अनुरोध करता हूं कि कृपया मंचासीन होकर आज के कार्यक्रम के विषय में अपनी प्रेरणादायी व मार्गदर्शक विचार हम सभी के समक्ष रखें।
Good evening, members. On behalf of Lucknow Chartered Accountant Tax Practitioner Association, I, Sharad Srivastava, as President, welcome you all in this mock tribunal of the GST. This exercise is not merely on academic drill, it is a meaningful step towards making our upcoming professionals more confident, custom ready, and practically aware of the GST tribunal's working. Today, as we gather here, we are living in an era of rapid change in the indirect taxes. The Goods and Service Tax Network, GST Council, Authority for Advance Ruling, and now GST Appellate Tribunal are continuously reshaping the way of the dispute which is to be resolved. It is essential that our young professional and the young members must not only familiar with the books but the practical approaches of the forums. The mock tribunal is designed to simulate the real-time GST Appellate Tribunal proceedings, particularly in arguing the case in front of the judges, who is also going to interrupt, who are also going to put their words between your arguments and cross arguments from the AR, from the DR to the AR, which is very much important to learn how to speak in front of the bench, when to speak and when to keep calm. It is more important in the tribunal also. The participant, I would say, treat this as a first step into the litigation. Be clear, conscious and respectful. Do not hesitate to ask question where you want to raise any query. You can note down, but you can raise the query after the proceeding is over. Remember, the tribunal is not there to oppose you, but to understand the issue and apply the law accordingly. To everyone present here, let this event also serve as a reminder of our collective responsibilities to uphold the credibilities and professionalism of the tax professional, as a tax professional. Once again, on behalf of the LCTPA, I extended warm welcome to all of you, and I congratulate my team for organizing this type of seminar or mock tribunal, and I congratulate my indirect tax team together with my young professionals team of the learning committee, who taken this initiative and done this in very good manner. With these words, I am inviting the members on the dais, and First bench will be of you please call. Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good afternoon to everyone. So thank you so much, Sharad sir, for this wonderful introduction. And we'll be starting with the proceedings straightforward. And first of all, I would like to inform कि कैसे आज की proceedings हम लोग करेंगे. So the entire proceedings has been divided into two parts, into two benches. So हमारे हर bench पे दो members होंगे. It will be a divisional bench. So first bench में हमारे जो honorable member हैं, वो judicial member है पंकज अग्रवाल sir. And the main technical member. Second bench में हमारे जो judicial member होंगे वो रीना मैम होंगी. And हमारे technical member होंगे श्री शोभित सिन्हा sir. So first, to maintain the decorum of the court and the proceedings, I will be requesting everyone to please rise so that we can welcome our honorable member. First, I will request our honorable judicial member Pankaj Agrawal sir to please come on that. Then I will be requesting our honorable technical member Shri Dharmendra sir to please come on the dais.
No clapping, please. Now, court started.
So before we start with the forum proceedings, I would be requesting Ashok sir to please present a token of gratitude to our honorable member. Before starting the proceedings, I only have a request for the honorable member to show some mercy on the DRs. We have all seen that how court is going through the DRs. So our first case number is MOCK GSTAT LKO 004/2026. Appellant is Mrs. Kamla Devi, and on behalf of the appellant, AR is CA Tarun Bhatt, and DR is going to be Anshul Agrawal ji.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. If it please to the bench, can we start our proceeding?
Yeah, sure. Before you start, I think I am seeing that you have attached the show cause notice also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is there. Everything is in the work.
Part C, para 5, figure number. Assume basis, but show cause is not. It's the first time, then you have to keep in mind that the entire document should be attached. And show cause notice is the base.
Sorry, Your Honor.
One more thing, has your appeal been filed by the SSC?
No, sir. It has been filed by me.
No, but is it not required to be signed by the applicant or the SSC appellant? Because that I noticed that this appeal has been signed by you under verification, but as per Rule 26, it ought to have been signed by the applicant only.
Your Honor, for that I have attached my POA in there.
That's right. POA is an authority that will come afterwards. Once you have filed the appeal, then it will, POA will come into effect. But the appeal, have you read Rule 26?
Rule 22.
No, first Rule 26.
So expert.
You see 110, it says the appeal and the memorandum of cross objection shall be signed in the manner specified in Rule 26. And what does the Rule 26 say? Each document, including the return furnished online, shall be signed and or verified through electronic verification code by different SSCs who can sign that.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm sorry, it's my first time.
Yeah,
in this
that's
GST.
right. But these are the things, but the basic thing that any appeal is to be filed by the applicant only, appellant only. It cannot be filed by the, and second thing, have you filed your memorandum of appearance?
POA is there.
POA is there, but there is one more requirement in GST rule that you are required to file form number 4, that is memorandum of appearance. Along with that, your POA should have been filed.
Your Honor,
After the hearing, you can do, file that, but as far as this signing,
Yes, this is the requirement of the law. And you have to do it, okay? But we are allowing your appeal for hearing purposes. But these formalities, please ensure that you file.
sorry, Your Honor. Your Honor, if you are-
please.
So the case, statement of fact of the case is that my appellant is a small manufacturer of namkeen products, and in his premises SIB conducted a search in Feb 2019, in which no suppression of sale was recorded. No suppression of sale was recorded, and after that, in May 2022, the department issues notice under section 74, जिसमें उन्होंने ये कहा कि आपने जो पैकेजिंग करी है उसमें आपने अपने ट्रेडमार्क जो कि रजिस्टर्ड नहीं है दी, उसमें आपने नोटिफिकेशन 1/2017 के तहत आपने उसमें ये लाइन नहीं लिखी है. द लाइन इज printing a declaration on the packet that appellant had voluntarily foregone actionable claim enforceable right over such brand name, and ये पॉइंट नहीं लिखने की वजह से हमारा प्रोडक्ट 12% के टैक्स पे आता है, जबकि हमने सेल की है 5% पे. तो इसकी वजह से डिपार्टमेंट ने हम पे 74 का केस ओपन किया. एडवोकेटिंग अथॉरिटी ने भी उस डिमांड को एक्सेप्ट किया और अपीलेट में ने भी उस डिमांड को एक्सेप्ट करा. योर ऑनर, मेरा केस ये है कि if there is my grounds of appeal are कि first of all the invoking of section 74 is not sustainable. Your
Please come
Honor,
on the merit side first. Then we will see the legal.
merit side.
First,
Your Honor, मेरे हिसाब से हमारा क्लासिफिकेशन सही है, because the circular the notification says कि it should be a trademark or we have voluntarily foregone actionable enforceable right over such brand name. Your Honor, trademark is a statutory right and it is legally verifiable. Everyone can verify the trademark is it registered or not registered. So that is my point 1. We are not registered under Trademark Act. Point number 2, that the authority says that we have to declare on the packet that appellant has voluntarily foregone actionable claim. Your Honor, if my trademark is not registered, then I don't have any claim on that word. If I don't have any claim, then how can I foregone a claim? This is, and the second thing, the department is focusing on CBIC circular number.
press release.
Yeah, press release, sorry, Your Honor. it's a press release. That press release says कि if these conditions are not satisfied, then the rate of 12% would be applicable. So, Your Honor, press release is not a law. It's press release does not mandate things. A press release is not a statutory document and cannot override the supplement the language of a notification issued under Section 9 of the GST Act. Furthermore, press release and clarificatory circulars issued by CBSE are binding on the department, not on the taxpayer, on a manner adverse to the taxpayer.
What is your case here?
Sir, my case, Your Honor, my case is that my assessee, my taxpayer, is selling manufacturing namkeens and selling that under the name of D. So now the department accused us that we have not filed a, we have not applied for the trademark or written that we have voluntarily foregone actionable claim over the such brand name.
Can you distinguish the two categories for different rates? There are two rates.
Yes, Your Honor.
One is 5% and one is higher rate.
Yes, Your Honor.
And they have tried to distinguish these two categories for applying the higher rate and lower rate.
Yes,
How we will distinguish that higher rate is not applicable in your case?
Your Honor,
Because whenever you are going to make a claim, then you have to establish that you fall within the four corners of that notification to claim lower rate. How do you put your case that you are entitled for lower rate of tax as given in the notification? Because that lower rate is subject to certain conditions there. As you are saying that you have not fulfilled those conditions, then how you come out of that without fulfilling those conditions? What is your say on that? You yourself is admitting that you have not fulfilled that condition, those conditions of putting on that product that you will not be making any actionable claim. You have not filed any declaration with the commissioner regarding that. Then how you will say that still you are entitled for lower rate despite not fulfilling those conditions of that notification? Then you have not yourself is admitting that you have not fulfilled those conditions. How you can claim that? What is your, how you distinguish your case based on this scenario? I am not relying on press release. Agree that press release is not a statutory thing, but notification is a statutory thing. Rates are prescribed by rate notification only, and rate notification gives two categories. One is higher rate, one is lower rate. Lower rate is on certain conditions, that if you will fulfill those things, then only lower rate will apply to you. How you put your case or claim that these are the lower things?
No, Mr. Tarun, be patient.
Huh.
No, there is no problem. This is the first time you are appearing, so there is no problem. You take your time. The things what my brother is saying is that there is a notification which says two different conditions. In the notification number 34 of the 2020, this is the notification number 34 of the 2017. Here the amendment is there in 1 of the 2017, and there they are saying, you see amendment in 46. They are saying that for 16%, for 12%, there should be a bearing a registered brand name or bearing a brand name on which actionable claim or enforceable right in a court of law is available. Okay? Then what we have to see? What is your size of business? Is it a small venture, or it is a venture which has a where the goodwill or something putting a mark will create a goodwill over there. What is your size of business? Whether it is very small concern or what is this?
Your Honor, it is a small concern, and as you can see, ground number 3 of the appeal, as my lord has said, that conditions under raid are mandatory. So, sir, it is a settled law. Hari Chand Shri Gopal, that I have written in the submission, you can held that procedural directory conditions in exemption notification, when substantially complied with, cannot defeat substantive entitlement. My lord, the brand name, the notification said you have to have a brand name. My product does not have a brand name. Deep is not a brand name. It is not registered under Trademark Act.
No. Have you read the definition of brand name given in the notification?
Sir, registered.
No. Registered will come later on. First, what is brand name? Do you make advertisement based on this brand name?
No, Your Honor. We haven't used any advertisement.
Okay. So, yeah, this can be your one thing which we can consider, because you may take your own time, but you have to establish that you don't have any actionable claim over that brand or over that name. Rather to say, you don't have any actionable claim, or unless and until you build up your case on that basis, on that premise, that Deep is not a brand, maybe a brand, but it does not create any actionable claim with me. Suppose if somebody else uses a Deep, or you may put forward that somebody else is also using that name. That name does not exclusively belongs to me. I do not have actionable claim over that. Then only your case will justify. Otherwise, you will, since it is also a law that when you are going to claim some exemption or claim something, then it is your responsibility to establish that you fall within the four corners of that requirement.
So take it, whether it is a small concern and where there is some packing and where the Deep is mentioned over there. But whether this packing alone will create some goodwill or there is an impact on the business of the company. If there is some more Deep, whether that Deep it means some more concern are using the same name, whether this will create some problem in your business. If you can establish like this, then it can be said that there is no actionable claim over using the brand. So, if you have a case like that, then we can consider in the category of 5%.
Okay, Your Honor, I need some time. If it reaches to the bench, then please pass over.
Then you come to the legal ground.
Okay, Your Honor. So, for the legal ground, the first point is the section 74 does not apply here. Because to apply the section 74, there should be a short payment of tax because of.
Then please read section 74 subsection 1.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Where it appears to the proper officer that any tax has not been paid or short paid or erroneously refunded, or where input tax credit has been wrongly availed or utilized by reason of fraud or any willful misstatement or suppression of facts to evade tax, he shall serve notice on the person chargeable with tax which has not been so paid or which has been so short paid, or to whom the refund has erroneously been made, or who has wrongly availed or utilized input tax credit, requiring him to show cause as to why he should not pay the amount specified in the notice along with interest payable thereon under section 50.
How your case falls in does not fall in this provisions of the law?
My lord, when the search was conducted, there was no suppression of turnover recorded, no clandestine clearance was deducted by the department itself. That is already been submitted to in the paper.
Here the word is, tax has not been paid. There is no word of clandestine removal of the stuff, what you are saying. And there is no word of suppression of turnover. Here the word is, any tax has not been paid or short paid. Then the word is by reason.
Sir, Your Honor, if this is the case, then I would ask the bench to, sir, इसकी वजह से 73 should be invoked to us, because 73 is in this, the fraud is not in my case. There is no mens rea is available, mens rea established in my case. So the invoked section should be a 73.
Okay, dear. Please say why the legal ground he has taken. The legal ground he is taking is that his case does not fall under the provisions of section 74. So why, how the notice under section 74 is issued?
Your Honor. So I would like to read once again section 721. So here the tax list paid, short paid, everything. Sorry. So after it is written by reason of fraud or any willful misstatement or suppression of fact. So suppression of fact is a very wide term to cover. And say for the willful misstatement we can also. So at these 2 points I would like to bring your attention for this case. So here what has happened in February 2019 when the SIB team reached the premises, they found that the namkeen was being manufactured under the brand name, the packet where it was mentioned Deep, right? So the team contradicted them with the point that we agree that you do not have a registered trademark, but as per the notification 27/2017, central tax rate dated 22 September 2017, amending the main notification 1/2017, where it was mentioned. So I would like to read the word brand name, what is explained there, and the annexure where asked to qualify the 2 points. So the phrase brand name means brand name or trade name, that is to say a name or a mark such as symbol, monogram, label, signature, or invented word, writing which is used in relation to such specified goods for the purpose of indicating or so as to indicate a connection in the course of trade between such specified goods and some person using such name with or without indication of the identity of that person. The phrase registered brand name, that is also defined. It means a brand registered as on 15 May 2017 under the Trademark Act, under the Copyright Act, or any other law. So the brand name was not registered. Then there is an annexure which has been inserted by this notification from 22 September 2017, where it is mentioned the foregoing for foregoing an actionable claim or enforceable right on a brand name. So the brand name which I read out, so the word Deep falls in the category of brand name, though it is not registered, right? But again, for foregoing the actionable claim on this brand name, 2 conditions need to be fulfilled. First, the person undertaking packing of such goods in unit container which bear a brand name shall file an affidavit to the effect to the Judicial Commissioner.
So that we have discussed, that is in press release.
No sir, that is in the notification.
The notification?
Yes sir.
Which notification?
27/2017.
Okay.
There they have inserted it. This is by 22 September 2017.
So this is now a condition.
Yes sir, this is a condition. So the first condition, the affidavit before the Judicial Commissioner. Second, the person undertaking packing of such goods in unit container which bears a brand name shall on each such unit clearly print in indelible ink, both in English and the local language, that in respect of the brand name, as explained in explanation above, printed on the unit container, he has foregone his actionable claim or enforceable right voluntarily. This was not printed. The affidavit to the Judicial Commissioner was also not submitted. So now we, summing up, I'll come to the point that suppression of fact. If the SIB team didn't had reached that place and found this out, the taxpayer would have continued being paying at 5%. However, he is
Whether he is filing GST returns?
Yes, he is filing this.
He is filing GSTR1,
Yes.
3G, annual
Yes.
returns?
Yes, everything.
So that you have a knowledge of their GST returns?
Right, sir.
Okay.
And these
the
two.
suppression that is written over there in the decision of Honorable Jurisdictional High Court, Allahabad High Court, is a willful suppression. It is not a suppression in general. So whether your case falls in willful suppression?
So, for willful suppression, we would like to again bring that if the client was aware that the brand name is not to be registered, then these 2 points should have been known, because this is clearly mentioned in the notification. The client cannot say ki we are not aware of these 2 points to be done, and there is no mens rea. If we remove all the procedures, then the whole act will fail. Lot of procedures and conditions are applicable for this reason. Say, if the SSC goes for say rent a cab business, 5% without ITC, 12% with ITC. So there 5% they charge, and by mistake they say they take the ITC. Will that substantiate that they were of the intention for 12% and by mistake they took the IC and they are ready to pay?
Notification has a different thing.
Right.
Come to the legal ground where we are asking about.
Right.
You are saying that there is a
Suppression of that. Yes.
and that is by way of a suppression.
Right, sir.
And it has to be willful suppression. Whether he has a willful suppression, he has filed his GST returns on time. And if we read section 73, please read section 73 subsection 1.
So I'm not carrying that one right now.
I am reading for your
Yes.
benefit, where it appears to the proper officer that any tax has not been paid or short. The word is appears. So whatever the difference, whatever the rate difference or things like that, that fall firstly in section 70. And if you read section 74, there is a precise terms that is called by reason of fraud, willful misstatement and suppression of the fact. If these three conditions are there,
Either
then
of.
only, then by reason, then only section 74 proceeding can be.
So my understanding is by reason of fraud, then these three conditions are separate. Fraud is separate, willful misstatement is separate, and suppression of facts is separate. So again, willful word is not attached with suppression of facts. So suppression of facts can be either willful or by mistake.
But that is pronounced by the Honorable High Court of Allahabad High Court, and this is established now that suppression can only be a willful suppression.
Is there any suppression at the first instance, in which return it is required that there are two things which you
Right.
both have to address on the next hearing?
Yes, sir.
No. Number one, what is actionable claim? How a brand name will become an actionable claim per se? First, brand name has to be actionable claim. Then only all those formalities will come to be. If brand name per se is not an actionable claim, he is writing the name Deep in whatever manner. These days, these name stickers one can take out from computer. Even a small shopkeeper can put stickers in his shop, and whenever you take something, he will put in the stickers of his shop or of short name of his shop. Will that become a brand name? Will that product become chargeable to higher tax merely because he is putting the sticker of his shop name or abbreviated name of his shop name? Suppose someone else comes before with the same name, brand name. Will that actionable claim go, or both will have an actionable claim over that? Being influenced by this trade name, somebody else also starts producing with the same name. Who will have the actionable claim on that brand? So we will be we will be adjourning.
Sir, I would like to
And,
raise one point.
Come prepared on these issues next time. And before I adjourn, is your appeal in a proper format? Because we don't have the document, but
Sir, I tried
Do
this
necessary correction.
APR 05.
Yes,
I have
do
filed
do
APR
necessary
05.
correction.
no, you just see in what manner you have written the grounds of appeal.
Yes.
Can you use bullet in grounds of appeal? Grounds of appeal has to be serially numbered. Sequentially on the one topic, you can put sub numbers 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 and 1. But you cannot put in this fashion, as you have filed this appeal, this also needs to be corrected before next hearing, because you have put with the bullet marks. This seems to be more of the statement of facts, not grounds of appeal.
And
So
take
take some advice from some seniors, so many seniors are here, and prepare the grounds of appeal in a proper manner as it ought to be.
And grounds of appeal should be very concise. It is not a statement, written statement. It should
Because
be
all these
concise,
things are of
serially
a
numbered.
statement of facts nature, only very concise on a particular point, what is your ground? What is your grievance and what is your ground? So
Okay.
this, okay,
Okay. Next case. इसको एंड में करना है। Okay.
बस दो तीन पॉइंट
Yes, audience.
अब थोड़ी देर के लिए खोला।
थोड़ी देर के लिए।
कोर्ट खुला हुआ है।
What is the learning that you are seeking from this?
After seeing the argument from AR, DR and comments from the bench, what are the learnings you have got? Any three learnings? Any member? Yes.
Most important, grounds of appeal should not be argumentative.
Verification by the assessee only.
SSC only, signature must be there.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Grounds of
Price
appeal serially numbered.
representative and the appellant.
हाँ, yes.
both have to sign the grounds of
और कुछ बहुत अच्छा, ये सब तो बहुत छोटा छोटा प्रोसीजर है, कोई बहुत टेक्निकल।
rules को
हाँ,
बहुत
चेतन।
ध्यान से
सर
पढ़िए।
माय लॉर्ड सर एड्रेस कर सकते हैं ऑनरेबल मेंबर्स।
नहीं, ये
दोनों, वो सब ठीक है।
लर्निंग और कोई
मेंबर जनरल क्रिमिनल में मेंबर्स के लिए
ऑनरेबल मेंबर
पहली लर्निंग जो समझ में आती है कि आपको अपने केस की एक एक बारीकी पता होनी चाहिए।
जितने सेक्शन लिखे सब सेक्शन याद होने चाहिए।
सेक्शंस याद होने चाहिए। दूसरी चीज आपको ये भी प्रिपेयर करना चाहिए कि क्या क्वेश्चंस वहां से आ सकते
क्या
हैं।
है?
ये दो चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आप अगर ट्रिब्यूनल में आर्ग्यू कर रहे हो कि ट्रिब्यूनल में आर्ग्यू करने के लिए आपको मौका बहुत ज्यादा नहीं मिलता है, यहाँ तो तब भी बहुत टाइम देती है, इतना टाइम नहीं मिलता है। दो चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, पूरा केस आपको रटा होना चाहिए और क्रॉस क्वेश्चंस क्या हो सकते हैं, इंक्लूडिंग सेक्शन में क्या है, और वो सारे सेक्शन आपके चाहे लैपटॉप पे हो या चाहे उस पे हो, वो जरूर होना चाहिए। और एक और लास्ट लर्निंग ये है कि अगर आपको कहीं लगता है कि आप ट्रिब्यूनल और बेंच को जवाब नहीं दे पा रहे हो, तो तुरंत उनसे एक सॉरी बोल के रिक्वेस्ट करते हुए या तो एडजॉर्नमेंट ले लीजिए या पास ओवर ले लीजिए। उस वक्त कुछ मत दिमाग ज्यादा लगाइए, क्योंकि आप का सिचुएशन जैसे एआर की सिचुएशन थी, ब्लैंक होने लग गया था, तो तुरंत या तो एडजॉर्नमेंट ले लीजिए या पास ओवर कर लीजिए 2 घंटे के बाद के लिए। तो ये कुछ बेसिक लर्निंग है जो इसके लिए है।
This is most important when to stop.
When to stop,
पासवर्ड
yes.
का मतलब होता है सेम डे हम
हाँ।
कुछ केस के बाद आएंगे, और एडजमेंट का मतलब हम नेक्स्ट डेट में आएंगे।
सेठ साहब ने बिल्कुल टेक्निकल when to stop.
When to stop, this is most
एक चीज
important.
और, डोंट गो बाय लैंग्वेज। आपको जरूरी नहीं है इंग्लिश में ही बोलना है। अगर आप नहीं बोल पा रहे तो प्लीज कम इन हिंदी, देयर इज नो इशू इन
No
इट।
issue.
इसमें कोई मत सोचिए, क्योंकि बिकॉज लैंग्वेज इज ओनली टू कन्वे योर मैसेजेस। अगर आप इंग्लिश से हिंदी में जाने में आपको
You're right.
कंफर्टेबल है, यू कैन गो।
Yes.
The next case is the matter of goods transport services versus GST Commissioner.
This is filed by the SSC.
Yes.
Then here.
The respected honorable member, good evening. My appeal number is 002/2000.
Synopsis and submissions are already on the record, so I can have.
No, you have to explain.
I'm explaining, sir. Just I'm telling the record has been submitted.
सॉरी बोलना
Start.
May it please your honor. At the outset, the present appeal arises from an order in appeal dated 18 December 2024, whereby the demand of rupees 2 lakh along with interest and equal penalty in the section 74 has been upheld against the appellant for the financial year 2018 and 19. The appellant is engaged in transportation of vehicles and cases either through trailers or by driving such vehicles using its own drivers, and the dispute arises out of a GST audit conducted under section 65. Your Honor, the entire case of the department is not based on any investigation or detection or suppression of facts, but purely on reconciliation of differences between profit and loss account, GSTR 3B and Form 26, which is evident from the record itself. Core legal issue, wrong invocation of section 74. Sir. My first ground, sir. The fundamental issue in the present matter is the illegal invocation of section 74. It is settled law, sir. Section 74 can be invoked only when there is a clear evidence of fraud, willful misstatement or suppression of fact with intent to evade tax. In the present case, Your Honor,
Have you filed grounds?
Yes, sir. In the present case, Your Honor, not a single piece of evidence has been brought on the record to establish any such intent. The entire demand is based on audit reconciliation, which at best may give rise to difference of opinion, but cannot amount to suppression. The CBIC itself, by the instruction dated December 2023, has clarified the section 74.
First explain the facts of the business.
The
What is
facts
your
I have given.
nature of business?
So the appellant is engaged in the transportation of vehicles and cases.
What type of transportation you are doing?
So vehicles.
In goods, whether it is in goods carriage or what?
Sir, I have mentioned the brief facts of the case on the page number 1.
I'm asking
yes,
in
sir.
the open court, that what are your business? Please explain.
Sir,
Whether it is in a goods carriage
Sir,
or your
yes,
person is driving
the appellant
vehicle.
is engaged in the business of transportation of vehicles and cases either through trailers or by driving such vehicles using its own drivers.
So you are doing two activities.
Yes, sir.
You are transporting
Either
the
there is or by driving. By trailers or by driving, sir.
First I am asking, what are the two amounts which are involved in transporting the vehicle in goods carriage? And second is transporting the vehicle by driving the vehicle from one place to another. These are two different activities.
Yes, sir.
So there are tax issues are different.
Yes, sir.
Then please explain in that.
Sir, my main issue is the wrong invocation of section 74 first of all, sir.
This is a legal ground. I will listen this ground later. First, I am asking you to explain the facts of the case and how you are not liable to pay tax. Whatever I read from your paper book is like this, that you are doing two activities. First
Sir,
activity-
as per case I have heard, I have studied, so the activities are done through trailers or by driving vehicles.
It means this is a single activity.
Sir,
Or means what?
so both, sir. Via trailer, sir, via driving, sir, both.
So how your service is not taxable?
Sir, I'm not saying my service is not taxable, sir.
So your
First of
service
all.
is taxable?
No, sir.
Then how? I'm asking the provisions.
Sir, department has classified my services as a GTA, sir. And for GTA, the consignment note is a mandatory document which is absent in my case.
Okay. Then entire services
Is not taxable, sir.
is not taxable because the entire services is done through your goods carriage.
So goods carriage by driving vehicles.
So this is again two things. Two things are different. Mr. A.R., you have to prepare your case very patiently and very properly. There are two different things. First thing, that you are driving your vehicle through your drivers. This is another activity, is another supply, and the supply that you are doing through your trailer is another supply. Whether both supplies are through GTA,
So both supplies are through GTA.
then how the supply through GTA, supply from transporting the vehicle by driving the vehicle from one place to another is a GTA. You are saying that consignment note is mandatory.
Sir, Appellant Council has submitted that Appellant was supplying transport services by transportation of vehicles in trailers and transportation of vehicles by driving such vehicles. So both services are there. Sorry, sir.
Okay, just I am interrupting. Yes, dear. What is his case? Please explain.
Okay. Your Honor, the case is actually so what happened is that the appellant or the taxpayer is doing two activities. He is transporting goods through by running as a GTA, and the other activity is COT basis, which is chases on truck. So what he is doing is he is self-driving their particular vehicles from one place to another, and that is the second activity which he is doing. So first of all, my first the basis on which the additions is made, my learned commissioner has done the additions, is that it is validly accepted by the taxpayer that he is doing a GTA service, and on this basis tax has been deposited under a reverse charge mechanism by the recipient. But there is some other portion of service which is also there, the quantum is there of that service, on which tax has not been deposited under the reverse charge mechanism, but this particular taxpayer has charged GST, has charged the tax from the on forward charge mechanism and claimed set off of the input tax credit which he has derived by purchasing the trucks from the third parties. Let's say he's purchased a truck of Tata Motors, so he has availed the ITC, but because he's a goods transport agency, he cannot utilize that ITC, but he's trying to fraudulently utilize that ITC in that particular service, which he's driving that particular trucks on his own. So it is a case of, first of all, short payment of GST on the case that first. So the first case is that while the sales which have been reported in the form 26AS, the contractual receipts that have been reported in the form 26AS under section 194C of the Income Tax Act are, let's say, 1 crore, 5 crores, and what he has reported in the GSTR 3B is 4.5 crores. So there is a shortfall of 50 lakhs on which tax has not been deposited under the reverse charge mechanism. Secondly, the taxpayer has also set off the input tax credit which he has availed while being a good transport agency, because he cannot particularly utilize that particular ITC because he is a good transport agency, because he is a GTA, but still he has utilized that particular ITC to set off the GST payable on the forward charge mechanism which was created by virtue of self-driving the vehicles.
Okay, then I got it. There are two different activities, and learned AR, what I got from your submission is very two things are very different. First thing is that you are transporting in a goods carriage of Tata Motors vehicle from one place to another. This is a goods carriage, this is a GTA service, and where the RCM is allowed. Okay, then the Tata Motors is supposed to pay, you are not liable. And in your submission itself, you are saying that driving of vehicle from one place to another falls under the exemption notification under serial number 18. You are saying, but here you are not saying. It means your entire service is
I was just completing my statement.
So my point is that you have availed ITC, you charge GST from the Tata Motors for the purpose of driving of vehicle from one place to another. So availing of ITC is
So ITC available but has not been utilized.
billed and utilized for payment of tax.
Not
When you charge the GST,
it is availed and it is available in my credit ledger. It is my assumption as per the case law given.
Yeah, first thing, we will come later on this availment and utilization part. First thing, the charge of the department is that you took certain assets which were used for making supply which falls under reverse charge mechanism. And those ITC were claimed against your liability which arose in forward charge. Is it so? Am I right, dear?
Yes. ITC has been availed but not has been utilized. I am
How?
still on that, sir.
That will come later on, because what you have done it, because how, then you show how much was your liability against forward mechanism and how much ITC you have claimed, or otherwise also when you have both the systems, then you are required to proportionately reverse the ITC. Have you done that? When you are having two types of services, a reverse charge, which one falls in reverse charge mechanism and one is in forward.
Actually, the appellant, the period of the capital asset is for 5 years. The appellant has stored in the credit ledger and which will.
I am not talking of credit ledger. For the time being, I am. What about other ITCs? Leave aside this for the time being. What about other ITCs? Have you made reversal, proportionate reversal in respect of RCM services? For common services, you must have availed ITC.
So the appellant will reverse.
actually what I learned from your submission is that one service is where the Tata Motor is liable to pay tax under RCM, and another service is exempt under serial number 18 of notification number 12 of 2017, because that service is transportation of goods from one place to another, not by GTA. So once it is not by GTA, it is exempt. So what you did, you claimed ITC for the payment of so-called taxable service, which was actually exempt services. So you have not reversed that ITC. ITC that you have claimed is out of trucks that you purchased, and that trucks and trawler was used to provide the services where the tax is payable under RCM.
My lordship, the appellant will reconcile this and submit return.
Yes, but your presentation is not up to the mark. You have to come up. This is the first time you are appearing before the court. Then you have to come up and see what you are claiming and what you are retaining in the submission. Could we now we adjourn the matter and come again with the preparation. Next
इस केस में देखिए डीआर ने जो बातें कही उसको एआर कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट कर रहे थे लेकिन कर नहीं पा रहे थे। तो कई बार क्या होता है कि जो डीआर है वो देखिए ये ट्रेवल टाइम है, ये हमारे यहाँ जब ट्रेनिंग अभी हम लोग ने दी है एआर डीआर को, तो उसमें ये बताया भी कि ट्रेवल टाइम जो होता है, मतलब जब आप एक जर्नी पे ले जा रहे हैं अपने जो जजेस बैठे हैं उनको, तो उस समय आपको कैसे बताना है, क्या बताना है। जैसे अभी डीआर ने कोर्ट को कंफ्यूज कर दिया, उन्होंने कहा कि यूज किया है, जबकि एआर 2 बार कह रहा है कि साहब यूज नहीं किया, शायद लिया है। लेकिन जो कोर्ट है उसने क्या कहा, उसने कहा यूज किया है नहीं किया ये तो बात की बात है, क्योंकि उसके दिमाग में बैक ऑफ द माइंड चल गया कि साहब इन्होंने यूज किया है, वहां गलती हो गई। अब वो कंफ्यूज हो गया बेचारा, एआर भी कंफ्यूज हो गया, क्योंकि एआर को ये फील होने लगा कि हम गड़बड़ हो गए, हमें पता ही नहीं है कि यूज किया कि नहीं किया। वो कह रहे हैं यूज किया, मैं कह रहा हूँ यूज नहीं किया।
दोनों ही
तो
सर्विस एग्जाम्प्ट है तो किसी
यूज नहीं, अरे वो ठीक है, यहाँ तक तो मैं अभी लेके आ रहा हूँ, क्योंकि फिर अल्टीमेटली दोनों सर्विस अगर एग्जाम्प्ट थी तो यूज कैसे हुई। लेकिन ये बात कहा नहीं उसने, क्यों? क्योंकि वो दिमाग में ही नहीं आ रही उस समय, क्योंकि जैसे ही आपके अगेंस्ट केस जाने लगता है कोर्ट में, हम लोग उससे बाहर हो जाते हैं, उससे दिमाग से आउट होने लगता है, ये क्या करें कैसे करें। प्लीज नेक्स्ट केस।
सर एक प्लीज थोड़ा
सर दोनों एग्जाम्प्ट कैसे थी? थोड़ा
नहीं सर, हाई स्कूल थोड़ा नहीं इसमें
एक दूसरा ड्राइवर वाला वो कैसे होगा? हाँ
ड्राइवर वाली थी,
और दूसरा एग्जाम्प्ट
नहीं सर, एग्जाम नहीं है, ड्राइवर सप्लाई है,
ड्राइवर की जहाँ
सर्विस दे रहा है वहाँ पर।
हाँ
सीरियल नंबर 18
सर वो कहता है जीटीए की सर्विस अगर दे रहा हो, अदर देन जीटीए, पर
जीटीए नहीं है ना,
पर सर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ गुड्स ही होना चाहिए।
वही है,
पर ये गुड्स का ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रहा है।
और क्या?
सर या तो ड्राइवर की सर्विस दे रहा हूँ मैं,
ड्राइवर सप्लाई नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं गाड़ी
सर ड्राइवर
गाड़ी लेके जा रहा हूँ।
अरे चलो खैर वो
बात की
जो गाड़ी है ना वो गुड्स ही है।
गाड़ी में बैठ के ले जा रहे हैं, गुड्स को अलग से नहीं ले जा रहे हैं।
देखो देखो ये एक माहौल बनाया है, यार गलत बोलेगा यार, ये सब प्री प्लान है, यार की तैयारी करके इसकी समझ के सीखने के लिए चीजों को नहीं बहुत टेक्निकल वो डिस्कस करने। नहीं एक चीज जैसे इसमें कहा कि ऑर्डर में उन्होंने खुद लिखा है सबमिशन में कि मैं एग्जाम्प्ट हूँ, तो उसने आईटीसी किस में ली होगी? आरसी में ली नहीं होगी, फॉरवर्ड चार्ज में हो गया ना एग्जाम।
यही मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि उसने कंफ्यूज कर दिया पूरे कोर्ट को, और कोर्ट कुछ और करने लगा।
यार को यहाँ बोलना चाहिए था कि हम यूज कैसे कर सकते हैं जब एग्जाम देना है।
हाँ यही मैं कह रहा हूँ,
अरे इसी की तो मैंने पॉइंट आउट किया आपको।
भाई अगर एक पर जब ऑर्डर में लिखा है, सबमिशन में लिखा है कि एक एग्जाम एक आरसी में,
ऐसे ही होता है, कोर्ट में ऐसे ही होता है।
मैं खुद कंफ्यूज हूँ, ऑर्डर केस क्या?
सुनो ये समझ में ही नहीं आया कि हुआ क्या।
भाई गौरव अलग बात कह रहा है, ये अलग बात कह रहा है, शिखर अलग बात, शिखर कह रहा है कि एग्जाम्प्ट है भाई का, सॉरी इनपुट लिया टेक्निकल सबमिशन कह रहा है एग्जाम।
नेक्स्ट केस।
Requesting everyone to please maintain the decorum of court.
अरे नहीं यार कंफ्यूजन थी, पूछ लो।
So,
explain the facts.
Apologies, Your Lordship. I will just introduce the case. So, the next matter which has been listed is in the matter of Apparent Error Private Limited, and AR is CA Megha Arora, and it is versus Commissioner Appeals. So, I will be the DR. See you, Rohit. Thanks.
So about the case, first on the page number 1, the details are mentioned. I'll brief it up. My client's name is Apparent Error Private Limited. The client deals in interior decoration work, and in this case, the case is pertaining to financial year 17-18. The order was passed under section 73 in December 23, and then rectification was filed against this order under section 161 on March 24. Then the rejection application was rejected in September 24. Even the appeal was filed against the rectification order in October 24, and appeal was also rejected in November 24. Now, so my grounds of appeal are mentioned on page number 2. Here I have two grounds majorly. First, the first appeal which I had filed, that was against the rejection order that was under 161. So my first is that the appeal time, as the appeal time had finished, I had first filed the rectification. My order was passed in December, rectification filed in March. That was within the 3 months time which was given to us. Rectification.
What mean to say that your appeal time is finished, then you switch over your option to rectification?
No sir, my appeal time was still there. I had when my rectification was filed, because the case was falling under, according to me, under section 161, because it was apparent from the record. So that is why I filed the rectification.
What is
first.
exactly the facts? Whether 73 notice is there?
Yes sir.
Then there is a mismatch of GSTR 2A and 3B.
Correct. Yes sir.
This is the fact.
Yes, not sure.
And on that fact, the order is passed and you filed a rectification.
Yes.
So what is apparent mistake? What is the error apparent from the facts?
Okay. So the apparent record was, the difference is 2A versus 3B. The data which is taken, my 2A for example was stating an ITC of 100 rupees, my 3B had an ITC of 90 rupees. So my GST portal in itself is showing the information that 2A has more ITC as compared to the ITC which is claimed in my 3B. Still the order was...
2A has more ITC and your 3B is less ITC.
Yes sir, yes sir.
So what is the case?
So that is why in section 73 I had submitted all my purchase, e-bills and everything, but they were not taken into consideration, and still the order was passed to a 3B difference.
Department has accepted your 3B, na?
Yes sir.
So
Yes,
what is your
Lordship.
case?
So my case is that why then in section 73 they have given me that they have passed the order, that is 2A 3B difference. The figure which is mentioned in my OIO states.
I'm not getting. Your ITC available in 2A is more.
Yes,
and
Lordship.
ITC utilized in 3B is less.
Yes, Lordship.
So what is the problem?
So the problem
What
is
what is the grievance?
So when this order in original went to 73, there if I state an example, my 2A states an ITC of 100 rupees, my 3B, the ITC claimed is 90 rupees, but the order, under 73, there it states the 2A figure as 120. So there they have mentioned the wrong figure in my order of 2A.
Then I think there is no problem.
3B का क्या हुआ?
अभी 3B कम है.
अरे आपको नहीं बोलना
3B हमारा, yes sir, 3B हमारा कम है. उन्होंने जो ऑर्डर में 2A का फिगर मेंशन करा है वो ज्यादा है.
Whether tax demand is on the basis of what?
2A versus 3B, they are saying 2A is 120, 3B is 90. So the difference of 30 is my demand. So that is why I filed a rectification, because that is apparent from the record that the 2A is stating more, actual GST data is stating more the figure.
Please pause. Yes, dear. Whether she has claimed less ITC in GST Act 3B, and there is a ITC available in GST Act 2A is much more. Then what is the problem? Why you have created a demand?
So, Your Lordship, if you may permit, then I would like to put forth what the AR is trying to put forward, the exact matter of the question. So what has happened, what AR is trying to put forth is that the value available on 2A was around 100 rupees, and she has taken, I am just putting the hypothetical figures. So value as per 2A which was available on the portal itself is 100 rupees. She has claimed only 90 rupees. Yes sir. Total value of ITC available on the 2A
is 100.
It was 100. It was also prima facie available on the portal, and the taxpayer has claimed only 90 rupees. But the department has earned in recording the fact that they have recorded that the value available on the portal as per 2A is only 80 rupees. They have created a demand of 10 rupees.
Oh, then what you are saying and what the DR is saying is different.
So that
Actually,
is
the GST Act 2A, as per the GST Act 2A, ITC is available only 80 as per the order.
Yes.
Whereas actually GST Act ITC is 120.
Correct.
You are
Yes,
saying
yes,
that. This is the error that you are saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you filed a rectification application.
Yes, Lordship, within the time frame of 3 months from the original order.
Whether any show cause was given before passing the original order?
Yes, sir. Yes, Lordship.
Yes, my Lordship, show cause notice was issued, and then only after providing the opportunity of being heard, this order was
What was
passed.
their submission and how it was dealt with by original order? Why at that point of time it was not considered or it was not
You tell me, this is your appeal.
Yes, Lordship. We had presented all the, we had shared the purchase register against which on sample basis we had shared the bills and EV bills and requisite documents we had shared.
You filed the reconciliation.
Yes, Lordship.
Entry to entry reconciliation.
We had shared, but we did
He
not.
has not considered, but you have filed.
We had shared. Yes, Lordship.
So how it is a error apparent from record?
Because the data which the department even takes, that is from the GST portal itself, we take, there's an option where we can actually get the data which the GST portal in itself is telling that the amount is of ITC is, for example, 120 rupees. So that data is readily available with the department and with the taxpayer, with both the ends. So that data is easily available. They can even see party-wise the data of the ITC.
Yes, dear. What is your submission?
So, Your Lordship, my humble submission is point number 1.
Wait a bit. at tribunal level, your lordship is not referred. This term is used for only for constitutional bodies like High Court or Supreme Court.
सर क्या यूज करना है?
Carry on.
Your Honor, my only humble submission is, point number 1, the appellant did not file an appeal against the original order dated 18 December 2023, against which the rectification application was filed. The appellant could have gone for the appeal, but they chose to file a rectification application. And then I would like to put forth that Section 161 is not an appellate provision. So the only matter is that Commissioner Appeal has also stated the fact that this entire issue is not related to the rectification. This entire issue is related to the original demand. So if the Commissioner Appeal is passing the order for the fact that 161 should have been there, ultimately it is going back to the original adjudicating authority and they have to again revisit the case. So that is not in the hands of the Commissioner Appeals. That is the exact matter. So that's why Commissioner Appeals has rejected the case, because ultimately this is related to the demand.
What we perceive that the section 161 is saying, if there is an error apparent on the face of record, in such situation, the order or the application may be rectified, and that is rectified by through own motion or through the agreement, through the application of the agreement. Okay. So this way the case is there that your GSTAT 2A figure as per the portal is different and what you are written in the order is different. So what we perceive is the apparent mistake from the face of it.
Was there any reference of portal in the order that this figure has been taken from the portal, or how one could reconcile, because this is a portal is a dynamic thing?
Yes, Honor. So actually, in my OIO, they do mention that they have mentioned that the figure, the GSTR, the data, the figure which is mentioned of ITC is as per GSTR 2A. They have mentioned this word. So that means 2A comes from the portal itself. So the data has been taken from GST portal.
2A comes from the portal. So apart from this, there is a one Odisha High Court decision. It's a very recent decision of 2026. This is for the knowledge of everyone. That GSTR mismatch, GSTR 2A and 3B is also for within the provision of section 161, provided we have filed all the reconciliation along with all the documents such as e-way bill and invoices and this everything. That again is a mistake apparent, error apparent from the face of it. So this is a very important decision. If anyone needs, I will.
What about the pre-deposit of additional tax?
Yes.
That you have not discussed, because that was also an issue for rejection of your appeal by the
Your
lower
Honor,
authority.
I would like to mention in this, my appeal is filed against the order which I received for the rectification. Rectification order is not specifying any amount, even it is not specifically mentioning like what is the reason of not accepting my rectification. It is only mentioning not satisfactory with no figures. When there is no figure, so while filing the appeal, no pre-deposit.
Okay, heard.
नेक्स्ट वन थैंक यू।
चाय पिलवा दो सबको, उसके बाद
चाय बाहर,
उसमें दो केस है ना,
चाय बाहर रखिए।
हाँ ठीक है, चाय पी।
So the entire court is truly obliged, Your Honor. Thank you so much, everyone. We will proceed for a break of just 10 minutes, and then again we will start with the other bench. 5 minutes. Thank you.
इस केस के
एक बात और है, जब आप कोर्ट
May I please request Reena ma'am to kindly join the dais as the technical member.
नमन
Reena ma'am as the judicial member, Shobit sir as the technical member. Sorry, Rohit. Over to Vivek sir.
हम सभी रीना मैम को तो अच्छे से जानते हैं, तो उनके इंट्रोडक्शन की तो हमको कोई जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन शोभित सर के बारे में थोड़ा ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन में देना चाहूँगा यहाँ सभी को। शोभित सर जो है वो CGST डिपार्टमेंट से एज ए ज्वाइंट कमिश्नर वर्क किया उन्होंने, रिटायर हुए हैं। और वैसे वो बैकग्राउंड में मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर रहे, आगरा से उन्होंने इंजीनियरिंग किया था। उसके बाद उन्होंने सुपरिटेंडेंट एक्सपर्ट सेंट्रल एक्साइज और सर्विस टैक्स में ज्वाइन किया, और देयर आफ्टर वो ज्वाइंट कमिश्नर होकर रिटायर हुए, और आज हम लोग के साथ जो है एज ए एक्सपर्ट मेंबर वो यहाँ पे जुड़े हुए हैं।
May I please request CAGP Gupta sir to please present the plan to Reena ma'am, our judicial member. Plan to Shobit sir. So we are starting the bench now. So this is B bench, and the first case is Messrs. High End Electronics Manufacturer versus Commissioner CGST. The learned AR is Shri Sanjay Bindalji and the DR is Shri Gaurav Dikshitji. Tripathi sir.
संजय तो नहीं है ना किसकी जगह?
कोई नहीं है वो
AR is not, AR is not, and no leave application is there. Any leave application is there?
सही क्लियर वही कोरम बताए
He said that he may be informed for the next day, and this is same.
Is anybody from appellant is present in the court? AR is not there. Anyone from the appellant is present? No. So there are methods of serving the notice. I think only the online method has been exhausted till now.
Yes, ma'am.
So, here, would you like to take a passover and wait?
As you said, Lordship, as you said.
We can just give a passover, and once the time permits, we'll see if the AR is present by that time. Otherwise, we'll see what else.
I just want to make a request to the court, honorable court, that as the counsel of appellant is not present, so he is not serious about the case, and he has no even he has not made any submission to the court. So then it appears that the appellant has no effective arguments to advance in support of the appeal. So you may kindly consider it to dismiss the appeal. So if he was having arguments of ground, he should be present here or present his case. Just request to the Your Honor that my time is also wasted here, department time is also wasted here, Your Honor, your time is also wasting here. So I request you to just dismiss this case.
Being the first hearing, we'll just give you a passover for the time being, and we'll see.
Okay. Okay.
So the next.
Okay.
The next case is
In the meantime, I just want to take the opportunity to enlighten you what you learn from this. If you are not presented in the case, then you must file a notice application for adjournment. And if you are failed to perform this duty, then court may decide according to the prayer given by the DR, and then your case can be dismissed. It's a mercy of the judges. They are giving the passover, and thereafter they can extend the date. Next date may be given, but it is only on the mercy of the judges. It is not your right. If you did not presented yourself, then it can be dismissed on its face value.
सर वन मोर थिंग, क्या सबमिशंस जमा कर दिए और नहीं आ पाए?
देखिए सबमिशंस तो पहले ही जमा करने थे आपको, पेपर बुक तो पहले ही जमा होती है।
इसने कहा सबमिशन नहीं जमा हुआ है।
नहीं वो ठीक है, उन्होंने कहा आज वो प्रेजेंट नहीं हुए, आज का सबमिशन नहीं। देखिए पेपर बुक आपको पहले ही जमा कर देनी होती है। कभी भी अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल में ये नहीं होता कि आप जब आते हैं तब पेपर बुक देंगे। अगर आप आने के बाद आपने पेपर बुक दी तो डीआर तुरंत कह देता है पेपर बुक क्या, इवन कोई एडिशनल डॉक्यूमेंट जो आपने पहले फर्निश नहीं किया है वो भी दिया तो डीआर तुरंत कह सकता है कि सर पास ओवर दे, अभी तो टाइम दे दीजिए नेक्स्ट, क्योंकि मुझे तो स्टडी करना है ये। तो अगर आप केस को आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं देन ओनली यू कैन से दैट, अदरवाइज आपको ये एडवाइज्ड है कि आप जो चीजें देना चाहते हैं वो पहले दे दें, क्योंकि पहले देंगे तो पहले से उनके पास होगी, डीआर भी पहले स्टडी करके आएगा, सो दैट इट कैन बी क्लोज्ड। थैंक यू।
और जजमेंट में भी पास
और सर अगर
ऑन रिकॉर्ड
नहीं सही कर
फाइल तो वही
Your Honor, with your permission, may we proceed to the next case? Okay. So the second case is of Messrs. Super Expert and Associates versus the Commissioner CGST and SGST. The learned AR is CA Zia Rizviji and the learned DR is Shri Rohit Singh Ji.
My case is.
Before you start, just want to point out certain things were pointed in the first bench, so we are not covering that कि आपने भी सिर्फ अपने सिग्नेचर से फाइल किया है, appellant की सिग्नेचर नहीं, so those things should be taken care of. So now bullet points आपने जैसे दिए हैं, so please take care of it.
The case is notice issued under section 74 for challenging the levying tax on the reimbursement.
आप पहले अपने facts case के बताइए, आपका legal grounds
I'll start. The fact of the case is that GST audit was conducted by the department, and in which the audit pointed out that certain reimbursement of 3.55 crores taken by my client, Super Expert, on which the GST has not been charged, and because of that, they have raised the demand of 62 lakh rupees. And
What's the nature of reimbursements?
travel, tour and travel, which we do regularly on behalf of our
Clients
clients.
is rendering which services?
Client is various clients. I mean, this is the audit for us.
Nature of service there.
My client, yeah, they are into consultancy, audit and consultancy. So for the carrying out the assignments on behalf of the client, we have to visit various offices, places, for which we incur expenses on travel, tour, hotels, and all those incidental expenses, which we clearly mention in our engagement letter that these are to be paid by the clients over and above my professional fees. So we never charge them in that way that we have to levy the GST on that. These charges are actual reimbursement, and Your Honor, these are not to be taxed as per Rule 33 of the CGST, as per the grounds mentioned. But the department has treated it as a taxable service. They said these are part of your services and we will levy it. We went into the, against the order in original, we went to the appeal, first appeal, and there also the same thing has happened. That's why we are present here for you.
you said that for rendering the services, you incur these expenses.
Yeah.
Do you stick to this statement?
For carrying out, like if my client has offices at 10 locations and we have to audit those places. So when we go to those places, we incur certain expenses. So to make things easier, the client has said, you make your bookings, make all the payments, submit the bills in actuals. We will reimburse it.
On behalf of the client, you are doing these expenses, or for carrying out your services to do render your services?
No,
you are
on
incurring
behalf
these
of clients,
expenses?
on behalf of clients.
How
Because
do you
it is clearly mentioned in our engagement letters.
How do you establish that you have done this on behalf of the client?
We are maintaining all the records for the bills raised on clients. As per we have submitted our internal record and we have created separate ledger in our books of accounts. When the audit was conducted, we shown them these are all expenses incurred for on behalf of a client, and separate ledger was created. We had raised the bill of supply for the same, and we shown them in the GSTR1 as non-GST.
Yeah. That's one more. What my other member is asking, when you want to establish that, when you want to establish that this is on behalf of the client,
there is
creating a ledger, creating a bill, having the bills for that particular services when you are rendering it, how it is becoming on behalf of the client? Since you are providing a service of audit, you are doing audit for the different locations, you are visiting audit. That is composite sort of thing. You will go over there, you will definitely have it. Is there any circumstances where your client is required to do this activity that he will be creating all these facilities for you and you are doing it on them?
No, as per the agreement with us, as per the engagement letter with our client, when we carry out the work on behalf of my client, we are incurring expenses, and as per the engagement letter with the client, understanding with the client, written understanding, these expenses are to be reimbursed by the client. So these are not in our normal course of things.
It does not fall in composite supply?
No.
But
because
how it will come out of the purview of supply?
Because
merely a reimbursement.
no,
Will it be a
no, it will, Your Honor, it will come under composite supply if we include all these charges in a single bill, including our professional service. Since we are, as per the agreement, as per the engagement letter with the client, we are not charging the same. We are.
That's right. That's right. One more. You have said that you are using this Rule 33.
Yeah.
That is for pure agent.
Yeah, we are acting as pure agent.
How you are becoming the pure agent? Can you tell me? How you are working for the pure? What is the activity of the pure agent?
Acting
What is the activity of pure agent? I am not saying you are acting as a pure agent. What is the activity taken by the pure agent?
Yeah, as per the engagement letter, we
Again, no, not for the engagement. I am not asking for that. I am asking simply how you are becoming a pure agent. How can you define yourself as a pure agent? Nothing else.
The services which we are rendering are not part of our main activity. We are collecting it from the third party, and the same are paid by the client.
You are collecting the third party.
I mean, I am using the airline tickets. I am staying in a hotel. My team is staying in a hotel. That's the third party.
For you.
Pardon?
For you, not for you. That is not for your client.
In discharge of those services, I
Have the client you entered into third party with the third party for any agreement?
No.
bills are in your name?
Bills are in our name because we are making the booking, and including the GST and all, we are taking the reimbursement. So if we have to charge that GST again, it would be double taxation. That's the whole against the spirit of the GST. It will have a cascading effect.
No. Can you just elaborate how double taxation?
The department is saying you have to raise an invoice for the same amount and charge GST thereon.
How double taxation? You said double taxation. How it will amount to double taxation?
Now, if we claim ITC and then use that, then it will not be double taxation. If we suppose we have raised the bill of hotel 50,000 and 9,000 GST. If again I raise an invoice of 59,000 and then the department has levied the tax thereon, total amount is including the GST. The total amount spent including the
Now
GST.
come to your second part, legal.
Legal 74 is not at all justified because we have mentioned it in our GSTR1, GSTR9. We have mentioned that it is a non-GST supply, not liable to tax. Covered, we are doing it as a pure rate. So there is no misrepresentation, no fraud, nothing. So 74 cannot be invoked.
On the basis of GSTR1, disclosure in GSTR1 and 3B, you are saying that 74 is not applicable.
GSTR1, 3B, even GSTR9, there is no suppression of that.
Anything else? Any more argument would you like to have?
Yeah, the department relied on that 26 AS. I would like to mention, Your Honor, the 26 AS amount, mere reflecting in the 26 AS doesn't, any amount received doesn't become our income. Sometimes the deductee, by exercising their, to ensure that there are no TDS missed, they sometimes deduct on TDS on certain units where nothing is to be deducted. These are non-taxable things. Reimbursement means there should not be any TDS, but they have wrongly made, so we are not liable to get this income taxed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Come to the technical part, then come to the legal part.
Thank you, Your Honor. So I will start with the technical part. So I would just like to counter that the audit team, on the findings which has been taken up by the audit team, that were not merely based upon the 26 years. I will again recollect the exact word which has been put forth by the appellant. That is the basis of the engagement letter. So the engagement letter clearly states that the out-of-pocket expenses shall be reimbursed on the actual basis, and the engagement was for the audit purposes. So we would like to put forth that, so if he is doing the independent audit, so how can he act as a pure agent? So my first submission is that. Another thing is that the travel and other arrangements were undertaken by the applicant in the course of providing its own professional service. The expenditure was done for enabling the appellant to perform its audit assignments. The appellant was not merely making payment on behalf of the client to the third-party vendors, rather expenses formed part of his overall cost of providing the professional services. Therefore, such expenditure is naturally includable in the value of transaction that is defined under section 50.
Okay, now come to legal.
So, thank you, Your Honor. So my submission on the legal part is that though appellant has mentioned that they have already shown the entire bill of supplies and all the invoices in the GSTR1, but the department never had the access to their books of account where the exact situation was presented. The department got the access only when the audit was conducted at the premises of the appellant. So it was already in the knowledge of the appellant that this amount has to be charged as per the condition of section 15, and this entire expenses were required to be formed part of the transaction value, and it was required to be part of the taxable supply. So they already had this knowledge. So this shows the intent of the appellant, Your Honor. So this is my humble submission.
Yeah, one thing I want to know, how you are reflecting this reimbursement against when you are saying that you are reflecting the origin in GSTR1, what is the classification of that?
Non-taxables.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking what is the classification of your supply for the reimbursement?
Certain.
I'm asking SSC code, HSC code. What do you think?
HSN code is. Sorry, I haven't gone into the application.
Have you noticed that code? What is given in the GSTR1 or the HSC code or SSC code for the purely?
Your Honor, the values which were reported in the GSTR1 was only related to the taxable part only of the bill. for those bills for which bill of supply was issued that were not reported in the GSTR1. So that's why this is the another count which we have included, that this should be covered in the section 74. If this was not provided to the department, this shows the intention of the appellant and the taxpayer.
Yes, he is saying that
GSTR1
he is saying that in this case.
I stand corrected, Your Honor. So it was showed, it was presented under the category of non-GST supply.
Does non-GST supply doesn't carry any HSM code? But I think if you are and still somewhere it has to be written in the law that it is there. Saying it is non-GST exempt, saying it is exempted, then it is there. Non-GST when you saying it, then some items, whatever it may be, it must have some nomenclature. Whether that is falling under that HSM, it has to be. Then you can say your full disclosure. Otherwise, it is not. Because nobody knows from the GST1 what kind of things you are supplying under non-GST.
Right.
Now coming to this TR, does, when you detect anything at the time of audit, will it be covered by suppression and all? Though the disclosure was made in GSTR1 3B, what was the department doing for 3 years?
Thank you, Your Honor. For this honor, I would humbly like to present that in this case, though it was reported in the GSTR1, and during the audit we were able to find it out. Had it been that a normal proceedings has been done, this entire amount would have been gone away from the eyes of the department. So that's why department has taken.
Why within the time allowed under section 73 the action was not taken? Why 61, 73, why it was not done? Why strictly coming to 74?
Your Honor, the department has taken the view that since it has been found
Has
during the audit.
61 was excised?
No.
When the Shopper notice was issued in January 24.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is issued on January 24? That is 2018 and 19.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you justify this framework, how the suppression can be invoked in this?
Your Honor, first of all, I would like to put forth that there was extension of time limit for issuing the show cause notice under section 74. So this time limit was extended, and then based upon the findings of the audit team, this para was formed and the show cause notice was issued under section 74 straightforward.
When was the annual letter being filed? No. Yeah.
It was filed well within the time.
No. Now it is on by your part. How it can be defined that if it is filed within time limit? Say 1890, it must be filed in sometime in 2019.
1890 was filed by December.
February 20
it was
extended.
extended. It was extended, but if he is filed,
Well,
he
within
is
that.
filed.
December 20 was the date.
If he is filed, then there are 4 years gap. How you are going to say? So you have only time limit for 3 years. Or as in time limit for any notices for it. Sorry. 3 years of time limit for after filing the annual return. Once he is filed, your countdown is started from that date only. Whether extension is granted or not granted, that is not the issue now. The issue once he is filed the return, annual return particularly, then 3 years the time limit.
Thank you, Your Honor. So show cause notice was issued on 1st January 2024, and the time limit to file the annual return for financial year 2018-19 was till December 2000. It was extended around December 2022.
No, it
So,
was December
20.
December 18 was December 20.
December. And there was an extension of all these time limits, and this was under the same. So I don't have the exact notification here.
But if had been extended, then why not section 73? Why 74? Because 24, the notice has been issued. Time limit has been extended up to that period.
So the time limit for 73 has exhausted. Because for 73 it should have been, the proceedings would have been done by 23. 25 was the date for this. So issuing SCN for 18-19, the time limit was there.
Under 74, Your Honor, the time limit was still available to issue the show cause notice. So we have to calculate 5 years from the date of filing of annual return.
It was 31st December 20, annual return 18-19.
What member is saying is that they are disclosing the facts in your returns. Why the department has not been awakened before that, conducting the audit? Why is that gap is there?
हम आपसे ये जानना चाह रहे हैं कि डिपार्टमेंट ने ऑडिट किया, आपकी टीम ने, आपने कुछ डिस्क्रिपेंसीज की, आपके पास में सेक्शन 61 दी है और आप ये करते भी हैं, तो डिपार्टमेंट ने 61 के टाइम पे क्या किया? आप कह रहे हैं 61 हमने नहीं किया, तो क्या हमारा अरेंजमेंट ऑफ जीएसटी इस तरीके का नहीं है कि 56 से स्टार्ट होता है, जहाँ हम सेल्फ असेसमेंट की बात करते हैं? सेल्फ असेसमेंट के बाद में अगर डिपार्टमेंट कुछ भी कोई डिस्क्रिपेंसी होता है तो वो 61 में जाएगा पहले, उसके बाद में 61 के बाद में वो असेस करेगा कि क्या ये फ्रॉड है, नॉन फ्रॉड है, ऑडिट अपनी जगह है। लेकिन अगर ऑडिट में कोई फाइंडिंग आई है स्विचिंग ओवर टू, बिकॉज 73 का टाइम निकल चुका है तो हम 74 में जा रहे हैं, क्या इस तरीके का प्ली लेना, आप इसको कैसे जस्टिफाई करें?
Please use the mic. There is a recording that has to be done. So please use the mic.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I may be permitted to put forth my explanation. So, Your Honor, I just wanted to put forth that the section 61 is applicable for the discrepancies which are being arises in the return and which has been already reported in the return. However, this finding was taken care of only at the time of audit. So this amount was reported in the return. But the only point is that we were able to find out the intention only when this audit was conducted at the premises of the. So I would be taking the defense that that's why section 61 notice would not come into the picture. So because the scope is limited to the returns only.
So the facts were in the returns. There was. Exemption was there.
May I say something?
Ready?
May I say something?
Yeah.
The department is finding that when the time limit given for section in issuing the notice under 73 is over, they always resort to 74.
bringing everything as fraud, misrepresentation, without seeing whether there was any misrepresentation or fraud. They have not mentioned, and we have been mentioning this throughout, at the adjudication, at the first appeal, and the department has not considered our view. That's why we have to come here again. Just because they have come to know late, they realize they're late, and they start issuing notice. It is not in order.
So the court is of the view that taking the legal aspect of 74, I don't think so the 74 can be moved in the situation where the GST 1 3B disclosure, proper disclosure has been made. There might be mistake on part of whatever it is. But coming out of 3-4 years by section 74, so on the legal grounds, I think so this stands.
Thank you.
Thank you.
इसमें दो चार चीजें मैं पॉइंट आउट कर दूं। जैसे इन्होंने ना एक बोलते समय एआर साहब ने कंपोजिट सप्लाई की बात कर दी, वो गलत था, क्योंकि कंपोजिट सप्लाई लाते ही आप टैक्सेबल हो गए। कोर्ट ने लीगल ग्राउंड पर इसको डिसमिस किया, वो अलग है, बट अगर ये चीजें कहीं डिस्कशन में आती तो आपके अगेंस्ट में जाती। एक यहाँ पर लर्निंग और मैं देना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे कोर्ट आपस में बात कर रही थी, उस समय एआर ने परमिशन मांग के बोला इट इज नॉट अलाउड। उस समय आपको नहीं बोलना चाहिए। जब कोर्ट आपस में दोनों लोग अगर बात कर रहे हैं तो यू कीप क्वाइट, आपको उस समय कुछ नहीं करना है, क्योंकि देखिए कोर्ट अपनी आंखों से आपको बोलता है कि आप बोलेंगे कि आप बोलेंगे। इस तरह से नहीं होगा कि आप कोर्ट में अपनी मर्जी से कि सर मे आई, नो, इट इज नॉट अ मैनर ऑफ द कोर्ट। कोर्ट में हमेशा वो जब आपकी तरफ देखें देन यू स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग, या देन यू कैन से कि साहब मे आई। तो ये चीजें लर्निंग के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है। थैंक यू। हाँ, जनरस थी कोर्ट, तो ठीक है। कोर्ट अभी आपकी है ना, कोर्ट कभी दूसरे की।
With the permission of your honor, may we proceed to the next matter. The next matter listed is a very interesting one, and this is the matter related to Talimar Private Limited, and this matter relates to the construction services. And the AR will be Shri C.A. Chetan Agrwal, and DR for this matter will be Shri C.A. Shekhar Gupta.
Honorable members, good evening. With your permission, I will briefly summarize the facts of the case, and I also want to give a copy of my case. All already submitted. Honorable members, my case summary is that the Appellant Talimar Private Limited is a registered real estate developer engaged in development and sale of real estate projects. That during FY 1920, the appellant entered into a development arrangement with a landowner who is also registered under GST in relation to a real estate project. Against the said arrangement, an amount of rupees 15 crore 50 lakh 75,000 was paid to the landowner. That the adjudicating authority issued SCN dated 1/1/2025 under section 74 and alleged that the said transaction represented consideration towards transfer of development rights land related rights liable to GST under reverse charge mechanism in the hands of the developer. Accordingly, appellant is liable for GST at 18% under RC. That the adjudicating authority also alleged that since the appellant failed to disclose the said amount in GSTR 9, which constitute to suppression of facts, thereby attracting the issued SCN under section 70. That the appellant submitted that the landowner had already discharged GST on the same transaction under forward charge mechanism supported by tax invoices, GSTR 1, GSTR 3B, ledger confirmation, payment proof, and GST return extract. That the appellant also submitted that the said supply reported by the landowner is duly reflected in the GSTR 2A of the appellant and Table 4 of ITC of GSTR 3B return and Table 6 of ITC of GSTR 9. In addition to this, said transaction was also recorded in financial statement, that is our books of accounts, which was uploaded along with GSTR 9. Hence, there was no suppression of facts as far as this transaction is concerned. That the adjudicating authority issued demand order dated 25th March 2026 and levied GST of rupees 2,79,13,500 on appellant under reverse charge mechanism along with applicable interest and equivalent penalty of rupees 2,79,13,500. That the first appellate authority, while passing a speaking order dated 30th April 2026, confirmed the entire demand, interest and 100% penalty. Now, this appeal is presented before the honorable bench.
So what are your technical grounds?
Thank you, honorable member. I want to explain this case on two major issues. First allegation made by the department is willful suppression. So I want to come on that. The term suppression is defined in explanation 2 of section 74, which says that
So we'll come on the legal aspect will come later. First, present your technical points. Then we'll see the legal side of it, whether your case falls within the legal boundaries or not.
Thank you, honorable member. As far as technical part is concerned, we object this show cause notice and impulse order on the ground that the invoking extended provision, that is section 74, on the allegation of suppression of facts.
Factual.
Factual points चाहिए. आपके facts जो हैं उनको आप क्या challenge करते हैं?
As I presented my case summary, facts explained by me, that is on page number 22.
आपके ऊपर एलिगेशन ये है कि आपको आरसीएम में टैक्स देना था.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है ना? और आपने आरसीएम में इसलिए नहीं दिया है. आरसीएम में आप इसलिए टैक्स नहीं दे रहे हैं क्योंकि लैंड ओनर ने फॉरवर्ड चार्ज में टैक्स पे कर दिया है. अब इसके ऊपर आपका पॉइंट सिर्फ यही है, आप इसके बारे में यही कहना चाहते हैं क्योंकि लैंड ओनर ने पेमेंट कर दिया है इसलिए हमने नहीं दिया, या कोई और भी कारण था जिसके कारण आप कह सकते हैं कि मैंने आरसीएम में क्यों नहीं दिया?
Thank you, honorable member. For this technical reason, I would like to bring the attention of honorable bench on the enabling mechanism in GST. What is that? As per GST law, every supplier of service or goods is required to issue a tax invoice. That the format of that tax invoice is defined under Rule 46. The clause P of that rule clearly said that the supplier will mention on that tax invoice whether the tax is chargeable under RCM or not. Number one. Second step, the supplier have to file his invoice in his GSTR 1 return where he has to indicate whether the supply is liable to charge under forward charge or reverse charge. If this supply is liable to pay under reverse charge, then that liability automatically flows in table 3.1D of GSTR 3B return. From there, every recipient knows that this is the liability on that particular transaction which was not paid by the supplier. In spite of that, the recipient is liable to pay that liability.
What my member is saying is that whether this liability is restricted to RCM or forward charge FC.
So this liability is restricted to RCM.
Admitting that fact that the liability is restricted to RCM, will it absorb payment of tax liability from RCM or to the forward charge method?
Yes, sir.
How?
So for that purpose, I have to take the further submissions made by me through grounds of appeal. GST is a new law which was evolving day by day. On 1st April 2019, government added the entry in RCM notification number 13 that on this type of transaction, liability to be paid by the promoter developer under RCM. But as a trade and industry, there was several confusion regarding the transactions because of precedents which I have covered in my grounds of appeal. And on those representations submitted by the industry or the field formation, government issued 2 FAQs in the month of May 19. Whereas the appellant has already entered in this transaction in the month of April only, that is April 19, before issuance of FAQs. So my appellant did the transaction in a as per his interpretation of law and as per precedents taken by the honorable courts or the state members in earlier erstwhile law, that is a service tax law.
Established practice cannot become a law. It cannot overrule the law.
Yes.
Fine. Having said so, if it is clearly defined or specified in that act or provisions of the law of GST saying that such supply is requiring the payment of taxes through RCM only, can your tax which has been paid by your forward charge through land by the landowner, you can take the refund. Okay, you have to take the tax because it is your liability.
Thank you, member. Thank you, honorable member. As far as refund to be claimed by the landowner is concerned, as a recipient of the service, this supply was reported by them in GSTR 1, which was duly reflected in our GSTR 2A returns, and we claimed this ITC and declared this ITC in GSTR 3B table 4 and GSTR 9 in table 6.
You want to say कि अगर आपने कोई गलत एक्ट कर दिया है तो उसको हम जस्टिफाई करेंगे?
No.
तो अगर आईटीसी ले ली गई है, इस कारण किसी को रिफंड मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा, उससे आपका एक्ट तो जस्टिफाई नहीं होगा. You have to pay tax under RCM. That means you have to pay it. What the other party has done or what ITC you have taken. ITC is the another limb. First, we are discussing only not the ITC concept. Your case is regarding output tax liability on the whatever the remaining amount which is on the completion date. You say आपने ऐसा बताया कि अप्रैल के महीने में आपका ये ट्रांजैक्शन हो गया था और FAQs जो थे वो मई में आए. Even the interpretation of law अगर आपने गलत किया है तो क्या आपकी liability उससे खत्म हो जाएगी?
No, ma'am. No.
टेक्निकल ग्राउंड्स पे जो आपका है, कुछ और आप सबमिशन देना चाहेंगे?
I have one more submission, honorable member. It is correctly said the ITC taken by the appellant does not have any impact on refund application may be made by the supplier. But once the ITC is claimed by the appellant and department has not taken any action on debt liability after filing of annual return through section 70C.
Just sorry, I am interrupting you. Yeah, you cannot challenge the department what they have done. They will do their end. You cannot challenge that. You have to do what you are supposed to do.
So, honorable members, I have only this submission on technical part.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, now my first submission in this regard is that the taxpayer has actually deposited, the landowner and the developer. I'll take two parties. So, developer was liable to pay tax under RC, and that is the correct law. That is as per notification 13/2017 and also 5/2019. That is a set law. And one submission that where the land developer is responsible to pay some taxes, and now the landlord has discharged some taxes, that does not absolve the developer that merely because some tax has been paid by the landlord can absolve the developer from not paying the tax, which was duly obliged and to be charged from his account. Second, there is a concept in I would like to take your honors towards the, I would like to borrow some provisions from the income tax law. Under income tax law, ma'am, your honors, there is a provision for deduction of TDS, and in case where a person fails to deduct the TDS, then there is only by means of filing a form called Form 26A that you get absolved from the liability from from the failure of deduction of TDS. In other words, let's say I have to deduct a TDS of Mr. A. I have failed to deduct the TDS, but Mr. A has deposited income tax on his income and then filed the return of income. That still does not absolve me of the liability for failure to deduction of tax, because I have to obtain form number 26A from him. If I don't obtain form 26A from him, I still am the tax deductor in default, and 2011A liability is there. This saving provision is there in the income tax law, but this sort of provision is not there in the GST law. If the taxpayer has made a mistake, he could have filed a rectification application, or a refund application, and then the landlord, so the developer could have charged could have deposited the taxes and also filed the corrected GSTR 9 or the annual return, where he could have declared all the taxes which would be liable to pay. On other grounds, Section 74 on the legal front is what Section 74 says, and rather, one point I would like to make is that my learned AR has said that there was the transaction was entered in April 2019, Your Honor. There is a FAQ which was released in 7th May 2019 and also on 14th May 2019, which have ambiguously clarified, which is by FAQ 7 and FAQ 11, that in such cases GST has to be deposited under a reverse charge mechanism by the developer. So there is ample clarification by the Government of India to clarify all these cases. So on what grounds can a taxpayer allege that, okay, this is a sort of a mistake which has happened? There is always a correction mechanism in the law.
Yes.
Section 7.
You have completed your arguments. You still want to go for
One more argument. That landlord has charged on a forward charge mechanism. Under RCM, the cash ledger deposit is mandatory. But when the landlord has discharging his tax liability under forward charge, he could have validly set off the input tax credit which was available to him. So by means of this, there is a shortfall of cash ledger which is appearing to the government's treasury only by means of this mechanism. What was the purpose of introducing the reverse charge mechanism in such cases where the landlord can obtain by his own will and the developer can obtain by his own will, Your Honor? There has to be a proper mechanism in the law, and if there is a defect, then there are various cures which are there. The taxpayer could have approached the tax department to say, like, this is the mistake, this is the issue, I would like to follow up by means of a correction order. The department could have very well alleged for the correction order. And also, Your Honors, Section 74, the Section 74 says, where it appears to the proper officer that tax has not been paid or short paid or erroneously refunded, or where ITC has been wrongly utilized for the reason of fraud, or any willful misstatement or suppression of facts to evade the taxes. there is an intent of suppression of facts, Your Honor. There is no reporting in GST Act 9 that this is the liability to be paid, to be discharged by the developer, or the liability not to be discharged by the landowner. So this is my humble submission, Your Honor.
Thank you, Honorable Bench. As
under section 74 of the CGST.
as learned DR correctly said and quoted the provisions of income tax law. As I mentioned earlier that in 2019 GST was the law which was evolving. He quoted the Income Tax Act 1961, which was the Act of 1961, that is 50 years back law. And he quoted that the saving provision is there, that if the tax is paid by the deductee, then deductor may be saved from that liability. And this provision was also incorporated after in income tax law. It was not from the beginning. My first submission. Second, my client, that appellant, taken the legal view of similar facts of the case, which happened in 2018, in 2014 in erstwhile law. From there, various interpretations were being taken in GST law for their implementation. So on that part, I have to submit this. And another part which is very important for this court, I have to explain that in case of any supply, under which section it will fall, what tax rate will apply, what will be the place of supply, whether that supply is payable under RCM or FCM, it has to be decided by the supplier only. If suppose my HSN code of this book is 112 and supplier mentioned in the invoice it as 221, so as a recipient I have no obligation to challenge his invoice. If the supplier applicable rate is 18 but recipient has charged 5%, as per law recipient is not required to pay the differential 13% to the government. If this book and tax is payable in the UP and supplier mistakenly issued the invoice with IGST, then as a recipient I have no obligation, my appellant has no obligation to pay that tax or to advise the supplier that kindly correct your invoice. So the supplier is the first person who is deciding the tax rate, HSN, amount and the type of payment, whether it is RCM or FCM. Once the supplier issued the tax invoice, which is a statutory document, and mentioning that this supply is payable under FCM, as a citizen of India and as a registered recipient, I have to pay that amount to supplier. Once I have paid the amount to supplier, on the very same transaction, it is not possible for appellant also to pay the separate amount to government. So this is my submission on this technical part.
क्या आपके केस में ITC डिसअलाउंस किया गया?
No, ma'am. That clause I have already taken once. Since the ITC was not disallowed by the department, that means department has already accepted the tax paid by the supplier, allowed me the ITC.
ITC देने के लिए हम सेक्शन 16 में जाएंगे. 16 की अगर सारी रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी हो रही हैं तो आपको ITC मिलेगा. यहाँ क्वेश्चन इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट का अवेलमेंट का नहीं है. इसमें आपके ऊपर जो है लायबिलिटी आपकी डिटरमाइन की जा रही है, उसके अगेंस्ट में आपकी ITC, ये ITC या टैक्स देना था या नहीं देना था, ये सप्लायर के उस एंड के ऊपर है, उनका जजमेंट होगा. और अगर आपकी हर चीज GST Act 2A में प्लस यू हैव मेड ऑल द कंप्लायंसेस, द सप्लाई हैज बीन मेड और नॉट. इनफैक्ट जो आपका सप्लायर है या लैंड ओनर है, उसको इसी बात पे रिफंड में लड़ना होगा कि मैंने तो सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विस किया ही नहीं है जो फॉरवर्ड चार्ज में था. दैट इज अ सेपरेट थिंग. सो मेकिंग एन इनवॉइस, और जो आपका आर्ग्यूमेंट है कि इनवॉइस बनाई जिसने वो डिसाइड करता है, अगर वही गलत बना रहा है तो डिपार्टमेंट ही उससे गलती का पैसा वसूलेगा ना।
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Bench. You have rightly said that डिपार्टमेंट ही उनसे गलती का पैसा वसूल लेगा। तो पहली गलती मेरे लैंड ओनर से हुई है, who is the registered land.
Sorry to interrupt. What other member is asking is that even though such mistake has happened and you are aware that the liability is to be discharged under RCM, had you not get to the back to your supplier that this kind of mistake has happened?
No, sir. As an appliant,
अप्रैल में हुआ, उसके बाद ऐसा कोई इवेंट नहीं हुआ है जहाँ पे कोई टैक्स लायबिलिटी हुई है। आफ्टर द इशुएंस ऑफ वंस द FAQs वर इश्यूड, यू रियलाइज योर मिस्टेक। उसके बाद तक आपने क्या किया? 74 तो आपको बहुत बाद में इशू हुआ है, उस बीच में आपने क्या किया? क्योंकि वहीं पे आपके 74 की एप्लीकेबिलिटी डिसाइड हुई। क्योंकि अगर आप साइलेंट रहे हैं इस बीच में, यू वर अवेयर ऑफ इट कि आपको RCM में टैक्स देना था, आपने नहीं दिया है, सो व्हाइल पुटिंग योर लीगल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स प्लीज dwell upon that.
Thank you, Honorable Bench. When I got those FAQs in May and realized that the tax liability of this transaction is payable under RCM, I firstly approached to my supplier that the tax collected by you through your tax invoice under FCM is wrong. Kindly issue me a correct invoice and charge the tax under RCM, and we have to pay it under RCM. Since he has not responded through my verbal communication, our client has issued a letter in the July 19 itself, and which was received by the client, and for reversal of that entry through FCM and issuance of invoice under RCM. But since the developer has not, since the supplier has not responded or not taken any action, corrective action through our that letter, we were not in a position to pay a same amount of tax twice to the government.
The capability of paying tax is nothing to do with whether you have to pay tax or not. आपको पैसा देना है, टैक्स का देना है, there is no excuse to that. I think so. आप इसके ऊपर थोड़ी रीथिंकिंग करना चाहेंगे, पास ओवर लेना चाहेंगे, कुछ और आपके आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हो तो?
Thank you, members. We have some arguments on legal grounds, so if you permit, I will like to. Thank you. Members, through my written submission, my appellant taken some additional. It is in the last slide. That is 29. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In this additional ground, I would like to keep attention of this honorable bench. In the case of.
You are referring them as additional grounds?
Yes, ma'am. It was not submitted at the time of appeal memo.
But for putting any additional ground, you have to seek permission from.
Ma'am, I informed to registrar today itself and sent the additional ground to registrar also, and DR also, learned DR also.
Have you received these?
I have received it, but it's today only. I don't have the time to apply my mind on this. And also, documents are shared on WhatsApp.
Honorable members, I have only one request that I have to.
I think in these circumstances.
ग्रीन टिक आया
मेरी WhatsApp पर तुमने नंबर क्यों शेयर किया?
Come prepared for these additional grounds so that these can be taken in the next.
मैम ऐसे डीआरपी थोड़ा सा कंप्लेन होनी चाहिए नंबर शेयर करते हैं.
One more thing I would like to argue here. On the one point that my learned AR has said, and also admitted in this court only, that they don't have the capability to pay. So it seems that this is actually a sort of a transaction which was thought over by the taxpayer and the developer and the landowner by their own selves. That if the developer does not have the capability to pay, which my learned AR has self-admitted, then this is a camouflage transaction. This is a simple transaction of a make-believe.
Without any documentary evidence, I will not allow, this bench will not allow these remarks to be made against anybody to the appellant.
Respected
Because
members.
Yes,
Since
respected
my-
members. So please, these should not be taken on record.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, we are adjourning the case. Thank you. Come prepared the next slide.
so we have one more case. Is the AR has appeared?
Next question.
Being the first hearing, we are of the opinion that a second chance should be given, but with a very strict instruction that no adjournment, if no anything is written, any adjournment is sought, we will not allow any more hearing of that case, and case will be decided on merits.
इस प्रेजेंट केस में क्या लर्निंग मिली? डीआर ने चीजों को बहुत फोर्सफुली रखा. वर्ड इसके लिए फोर्सफुली रखा और बेंच को अपनी तरफ मोल्ड कर लिया. एआर ने जो चीजों को कहा वो फैक्चुअल तो थे, लेकिन उसमें कुछ चीजों को उन्होंने नहीं कहा जो उन्होंने अपने प्रेजेंटेशन में दिया था. उसकी वजह से उनका जो यहाँ पर अपीयरेंस था वो थोड़ा कमजोर हो गया. क्योंकि
अच्छी बात ये रही कि वो पीछे नहीं हटे.
यस दैट्स व्हाट
बोलते रहे, लड़ते रहे.
लेकिन हमेशा उस पर वो आते रहे. और इसमें डीआर ने मिस्टेक की कि बीच में बोला, सॉरी तो बोला, बट इट इज अ कोर्ट मिस्टेक विच इज टू बी रिकॉर्डेड. ये चीजें ही सीखने के लिए ये कोर्ट का हम लोगों ने वो किया है कि कैसे वहां पर आपको प्रेजेंट होना है, कैसे करना है. क्योंकि ये बोलते तो रहे लेकिन चीजें थोड़ी जंबल सी हो गई कि ये चीज यहाँ है, वो चीज वहां है. जैसे इनको एक पॉइंट अभी और रेस करना था, इन्होंने अपनी सबमिशन में दिया हुआ है कि साहब रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रलिटी का क्या है. रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रलिटी के ऊपर अगर बहस होती तो मे बी कोर्ट थोड़ा उनके उस पर जा सकता था कि साहब पैसा तो मिल गया, इनको क्या नुकसान हुआ मुझे ये बताया जाए. तो इस पर जो है वो कोर्ट जा सकता था. इन्होंने अपने रिटर्न सबमिशन में वो दिया है बट यहाँ पर बोले नहीं.
सर एक क्वेरी सर ये कि जैसे मैम ने पहले से टेक्निकल ग्राउंड्स पे बोला था, तो जो रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रलिटी है ये टेक्निकल ग्राउंड्स का पार्ट बनेगा या लीगल का बनेगा?
ये टेक्निकल का है, टेक्निकल का. लेकिन लास्ट में आपसे कहा ना कि आप कोई और ग्राउंड ऐड करना चाहते हैं.
हाँ,
तो आपको ये चीज तुरंत ऐड करनी चाहिए थी कि साहब रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रलिटी है, इसमें पैसे तो मिले हैं इनको, हमने दिए हैं, उसने दिए हैं, पैसे तो मिल गए उनको ना, तो अब किस लिए लड़ाई है. तो ये ग्राउंड आ जाता.
हमने वो सारा पॉइंट जो है उसमें लीगल में कवर किया हुआ है.
नहीं ये लीगल ग्राउंड ही
मेरा इसमें सबमिशन है कि ये है ऑन द फैक्चुअल बेसिस बट इट इज अ लीगल ग्राउंड. मेरा ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग है.
ठीक है सर, वो तो इट्स
नहीं जब बस
इस इशू में दो चीजें हैं
सर.
सप्लाई इज वन. सप्लाई इज वन. So either I pay or the recipient pay as far as government is concerned. Constitutionally, on one aspect, because there are not two supplies. Supply is only one. Only the payee is getting shifted. See, also, so as it is said, there is revenue neutral is one aspect, but if on the same supply tax has been paid, then the government or the department cannot take that tax from me also. It will be against constitution.
No.
इसमें देखिए जहाँ पर आरसीएम ये मैं कह रहा हूँ, जहाँ पर आरसीएम की लाइबिलिटी लॉ ने फिक्स कर दी है सर, वहाँ पर हम ये नहीं चैलेंज कर पा रहे हैं।
एक्चुअली क्या है,
क्योंकि
टैक्सेबल पर्सन इज
डिफरेंट आपने, और एक्ट क्या कहता है कि अगर आपने किसी से गलत टैक्स कलेक्ट कर लिया है तो यू आर बाउंड टू डिपॉजिट।
Here also, I would like to draw distinction. There are two types of RCM. One is other party is not registered, he is not supposed to make invoice. Then the whole responsibility is mine in that scenario. But if that person is also and he is also supposed to make an invoice, and he is to mention on that invoice under which it will be charged, and if he is specifically mentioning that this supply is being made under a forward charge, I understand that there is a valid ground to claim that it has been not been my responsibility, since the supplier is specifically mentioning that it is under forward charge. Because you see, as a common man, as a common layman, one cannot argue or one cannot say what I am receiving as a supply, and he is mentioning on that invoice that this is under forward charge I am paying. I am discharging my responsibility, and if he has discharged that responsibility, it will stand on a different footing. And if I am solely responsible and other party is not, in that case I am supposed to make a invoice, receipt invoice, and pay that tax. That distinction we will have to draw somewhere.
No, come on. Once law has mandated someone to pay the tax, it is mandated. No,
I agree, but that distinction I am drawing.
मेरे हिसाब से तो इसमें इंटरेस्ट और पेनल्टी पे जोड़ दे सकते हैं कि टैक्स नहीं है, मतलब
common man he cannot decide. Now here in this case this is covered under section 9(4) and 9(4) is not imposed on a common man. He himself is a land developer. He
9(3). In my case it is 9(3).
9(3) and 9(4).
9(3).
ये 9(3) है, sorry. 9(3) है तो भी रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन है, कॉमन मैन नहीं है. इन द केस ऑफ जब आप कंज्यूमर हो तब आप 8% फॉरवर्ड चार्ज आप क्लेम कर सकते हो. इन माय हम्बल ओपिनियन इट कैन नॉट बी चार्ज.
ठीक है, let us agree to be disagree. With these words we are closing this.
एक चीज और
सर
कि यहाँ पे जो रिटन रिप्रेजेंटेशंस या रिटन सिनॉप्सिस दी गई, आई थिंक दैट इज नॉट वैलिड एट ट्रिब्यूनल लेवल. वंस यू सबमिट दैट you cannot argue.
Then you can't argue.
सर एक रिक्वेस्ट है,
ये एक्चुअली मैं
एक जो कमियां है ना उसके साथ ब्रीफ बना के ना एक इनको एलसीडीपी को दे देगा तो ये सारे एआरस को और जनरल पब्लिक को एक ब्रीफ कर देंगे.
एक चीज और, एक का जजमेंट एक चीज मैं बता रहा हूँ, आपका एक केस हर्ड हो जाएगा.
सर एक मिनट को हाँ बताइए.
मैं पहले एक चीज बता दूं, जो अभी पंकज जी ने कहा ना कि रिटर्न सबमिशन वाला, आज की डेट में जब हम लोग काफी ट्रिब्यूनल कर रहे हैं तो वो कहते हैं कि रिटर्न सबमिशन इज ओनली ए असिस्टेंस टू द कोर्ट. जो आर्गुमेंट है वो रिटर्न सबमिशन के, अगर देखते हैं आर्गुमेंट इज मेन थिंग एंड रिटर्न सबमिशन इज जस्ट एक सपोर्ट है. तो इसलिए रिटर्न सबमिशन देना कुछ भी